Right now at 6, residents and administrators in McDonald County cut the ribbon on a brand new storm shelter.
And we have a bit of a cooler day today, but a warm up is in the forecast for the weekend.
Plus, the Nevada School District puts out the call for more teachers.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Lindsay Gaffney.
It's Thursday, January 23rd this morning. Pretty cold out there. It's also National Pie Day. I didn't know that. Doesn't like a warm piece of pie sound really
warm
good?
Pie?
Like apple pie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like
yeah,
apple pie. Not like hot
chocolate pie.
Chocolate pie. No.
I do love a good apple pie. I might have to make one today because it's National Pie Day.
As well.
Especially because it's going to be a bit cooler today. We're going to be in the 30s, so we can go ahead and take a look outside right now. Temperatures starting off in the mid to lower 20s. So it's going to be a chilly start today, although yesterday we were a bit cooler. Yesterday we were in the teens. So I'm happier about the mid-20s today, but we do see a bit of a wind chill still because winds are out of the northwest. We've got a wind chill that feels like the mid-teens. It feels like 16 degrees outside, even though actual temperatures are a bit warmer. Winds are going to continue. We have a few wind gusts of 25-30 miles per hour through this morning. They die down pretty quickly, though, as the clouds pass. And we're going to be having a decent day, although temperatures are still going to be a bit cooler. We're really only reaching the mid to lower 30s today. And again, we're going to drop a couple more degrees before we start that warm up. So taking a look off to school or work today, temperatures are going to be in the lower 20s. So right now we're about 24. We're going to drop another couple of degrees by about 7, 8 a.m. Partly cloudy skies. Winds are still going to be out of the west, northwest, and then winds continue out of the west, northwest, but clouds pick up and the winds start to gust 30 miles per hour as we head into this evening, with temperatures really only warming up about 10 degrees into the lower 30s for most of us. So we are seeing still temperatures kind of capping out right about freezing for most of us, but we do have a warm up coming up. Friday, mid 40s, Saturday, upper 40s, and it's going to be pretty sunny. So we're hoping for a nice little warmer couple of days as we head into the weekend. Though Sunday, temperatures drop again momentarily back into the lower 40s, but we've got another warm up as we head into the start of next week. So warmer stretch of days before our next chance of rain by midweek next week. And I'm going to have a full look at forecast coming up.
All right, thanks, Lindsay. Well, after almost 3 years, the last of 6 storm shelters in McDonald County have been complete.
3, 2, 1.
Authorities cut the ribbon on the final shelter this afternoon at Anderson Elementary in McDonald County. This multi-purpose shelter will not only serve as a classroom and shelter for students, but also as a shelter for the surrounding community. School and county officials say it's important that these shelters are accessible to anyone. They also say the project shows the dedication citizens have to the McDonald County School District.
Our community is devoted to students. It's also devoted to safety. So our community always comes together in a time of need, and this will give them a relief and a place to come when they need that.
These are so important to our communities. I mean, it's great having them for the students and the staff, but, you know, gives the community a peace of mind. You know, we had 7, 8, 9 tornadoes in Benton County, Arkansas this last year, which is just south of us. That could easily happen here.
The storm shelters were part of a $21.5 million bond issue passed by McDonald County voters in April 2022. And like many, the Nevada School District is looking for teachers. In fact, the district currently has 9 open positions. Last night, Nevada hosted a teacher recruitment event at the board office. That's a chance for prospective teachers to learn more about the district's vision and goals, programs and expectations, opportunities, benefits, and to hear from teachers who've decided to call Nevada home.
School districts across the state and across the nation are in a massive shortage right now. So for me, it's a privilege to be able to show these new teachers what their career could look like and how rewarding it can be.
This is the second year Nevada schools have hosted a teacher recruitment event. And Freeman Health System announces yesterday it's holding a job fair. The announcement comes ahead of the opening of the new Freeman Fort Scott Hospital. The healthcare provider says the event will provide an opportunity for Freeman to recruit applicants for various job opportunities. It will feature more than 60 openings for the new hospital and will cover everything from RN to tech positions. It'll be on Tuesday, February 11th from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. For more information, go to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. And a local bookstore is helping a VFW raise money to repair a water line. The owner of Always Buying Books, Bob Wolf, is a longtime member of VFW Post 534 in Joplin. The post has had a water leak for about 2 months now, costing hundreds. Now the break has been located, but funding is needed. Wolf is asking for help in raising $1,000 for the VFW.
It's been going on probably close to two months. So it's costing about $500 a month on water. And they couldn't find it. Like I said, they got a good crew in, and they're going to take care of it sometime later this week, and we're going to get a stop to that.
The VFW helps veterans who contact them daily, and Wolf says the cost of these repairs would have taken away from the help the post gives. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes, coming up on the KOAM Morning News. NASA is holding a day of remembrance to honor all astronauts who have sacrificed their lives. Plus, we have new details on President Donald Trump's efforts to crack down on illegal immigration. And Lindsay Gaffney returns with another look at your Thursday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Well, topping Nation Watch this morning, NASA is hosting a day of remembrance today for fallen heroes. The annual event honors astronauts who died pursuing space exploration and discovery, specifically the crews of Apollo 1 and the space shuttles Challenger and Columbia. NASA's Day of Remembrance is traditionally held on the fourth Thursday of January each year. There will be a wreath-laying ceremony at Arlington National Cemetery in Virginia. The Johnson Space Center in Houston and the Kennedy Space Center in Florida will also hold commemoration events. The Trump administration has told federal health agencies to pause external communications. According to sources, that includes regular scientific reports, updates to websites, and health advisories. The order came without warning and with little guidance as to what exactly it covered or how long the pause would last. The move isn't unheard of for an incoming administration, but one source says the scope of this order appeared to be unusual. America's health agencies, including the CDC, FDA, and NIH, routinely release information on food recalls, drug and medical device approvals, and evolving public health threats. Well, this morning, CBS News has obtained new internal documents that show President Donald Trump could be weighing whether to send thousands of troops to the U.S.-Mexico border to stop the flow of illegal immigration. Communities around the country are bracing for ramped-up enforcement efforts. In his first television interview since taking office, the president also hinted that he may like to get rid of FEMA and leave disaster relief to the individual states. Naomi Ruckham reports from New York.
There are new details on President Donald Trump's efforts to crack down on illegal immigration. 1,500 U.S. troops are heading to the southern border, a number that could explode to as many as 10,000, according to an internal memo obtained by CBS News. Internal documents also direct border agents to immediately deport migrants who cross into the country illegally without allowing them to request asylum. And they instruct the Justice Department to investigate any instances of local and state officials obstructing Trump's enforcement policies. On Fox News, the president railed against illegal immigration and sanctuary cities.
We're trying to end them, and a lot of the people in those communities don't want them. This was a gross miscarriage of common sense to allow people to come in.
Dozens of communities around the U.S. are now fearful of ramped up immigration raids.
What's going to happen tomorrow when I wake up and take my kid to school? Like, am I going to meet them ICE there?
Also last night, President Trump suggested getting rid of FEMA, even as yet another dangerous wildfire threatens Southern California.
I'd rather see the states take care of their own problems.
The push to bring federal employees back to the office full-time is ramping up. Agencies now have until the end of the week to update their in-person work policies. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
This morning, a federal judge in Seattle will hold a hearing for one of the multiple challenges against President Donald Trump's order that attempts to ban birthright citizenship for the children of undocumented migrants and temporary visa holders. This lawsuit was brought by attorneys general in Washington state, Arizona, Illinois, and Oregon. More than 20 states have filed legal challenges against the order. And that's a look at some of today's top national stories. Here's Lindsay with a look at your forecast.
Well, temperatures starting off this morning in the lower 20s. We also have winds out of the west. We've got a bit of a wind chill this morning. Winds gusting up to 20 miles per hour. Now, as we head into this afternoon, clouds move in. So we're going to have mostly cloudy skies through this afternoon and evening, and winds gusting again 20 to 30 miles per hour. Temperatures really only warming up to the lower 30s, but we do have a warm up as we head into the rest of the weekend.
The cabin in Oklahoma found itself in an icy situation, but luckily a cowboy was nearby to rescue it. Braden Bates has the story.
Every rancher's had to do this kind of thing before. Like, we really do love these little animals.
A video of Wagner and his brother rescuing the calf from the pond went viral on Facebook, shocking the Oklahoma rancher.
This is crazy to me. I would have never thought it would have. I thought it was crazy when it got like 1,000 views. I was like, holy crap. And now it's like over 3 million.
Wagner tells me he was feeding cattle in a neighboring pasture when his brother called for help. Before he knew it, he was in the water.
Was there a moment of hesitation at all, thinking about your own safety, or were you really focused on getting this calf out?
Not at all, to be honest with you. As soon as I saw it, man, I kicked them boots off, jeans off, and I was going in there.
He says this was not the first time he's taken the cold plunge.
The next day, I went to go day work, and I was with a bunch of other cowboys, and they were all talking about the times they've had to do it and strip down and go in.
But he tells me he's happy the video's gained so much traction, not for his efforts, but for the buzz it's garnered for the ranching community.
I really like that it did get so much attention, so people do realize what all these guys go through. All the farmers, all the ranchers, like the hard work and the sacrifices we do, and the lifestyle we live.
With Oklahomans championing the rescue.
What you had to do. I mean, that's true Oklahoma spirit right there.
Yeah, it's the life we live, but it's a freaking awesome life, man.
After rescuing the calf, Wagner says he watched over the animal that night to make sure it stayed healthy. Now let's head over to Lindsay for a quick look at your forecast.
Well, temperatures have been cooling down, but we started to see a warm up yesterday, upper 30s, with our low today only dropping down to the low 20s as we start our morning off. Though, heading into the weekend, we do see a nice little warm up, mid 40s tomorrow and upper 40s by Saturday. I'll have more coming up. Well, taking a look at downtown Pittsburgh, you can see we've got mostly clear skies out there. Winds are light, though we are still seeing a few gusts up to 20 miles per hour through this morning. And we are going to see a few clouds pushing in. But outside of that, we're going to have a mostly dry week this weekend and into midweek next week, with a temperature warm up in the forecast as well. So today we're only getting into the low 30s, so it is still going to be pretty cold, right around freezing. But tomorrow you can see mid 40s. Saturday, upper 40s, a bit cooler on Sunday. We're right back to warming up by Monday. So let's take a look. We've got those winds gusting again through this afternoon, about 15, 20, maybe even 25 miles per hour. And then winds shift out of the south as we head into Friday morning. So you can see there's our wind shift. Winds start to pick up following the southerly winds flowing, and we can see gusting 15, 20, 25 miles per hour through the morning hours, and then picking up to 40 mile per hour wind gusts through Friday evening. So Friday evening is going to be pretty windy, but a bit warmer. So we're looking forward to that before another cold front moves through. Now we saw a trough shifting off to the east. We go into this ridge, this warm up, and that continues a bit longer than a normal warm up would, just due to the fact that we're going to have this cutoff low, this low pressure system kind of shifting off to the west, cuts off there. So it just is going to hang out there for the weekend and into midweek next week. And so we stay in this consistent temperature pattern because of that slight ridge. Now, looking at our temperatures over the next couple of days, highs today reaching, like I said, mid to lower 30s. Now northern counties right below freezing, about 30, 31, 32 degrees. And then our central counties right at freezing. We're going to be 32, 33, even 34 degrees. So 34 in Joplin, 33 in Oswego, 32 in Parsons and Carthage. And then southern counties mid to upper 30s. So we're going to be up to 37 degrees for the highest temperature out in Anderson. As we can see, winds are out of the north. So we've got a cooler morning on Friday morning. Temperatures in the mid to even lower teens. But you can see wind shifts, so we have another warm up as we head into Friday. Winds out of the south, and then temperatures reaching mid 40s, 45 Joplin, Pittsburgh, Fort Scott, 49 in Sedan and Nowata, so we're really close to 50 degrees. Now, temperatures do continue to warm up on Saturday, even though winds do shift. So Saturday morning, we're really only dropping down to just right at freezing, but you can see that wind shift line coming through, and that's going to continue to take place through midday. So there's our wind shift line in our central counties, but temperatures still warm up to the upper 40s and even low 50s in some areas. Now, we are going to see the next chance for rain showers and maybe even some snow flurries starting next Wednesday. A few light showers pass by, and then by next Friday, we might see a bit of a wintry mix moving in, though not big, not too concerned with any of that going on. So until then, don't focus on that. Until then, we're going to focus on the nice warmer temperatures all the way through next Tuesday and Wednesday, possibly reaching 60 degrees by Wednesday. Now, that's a look at your forecast. Let's go over to Elise with Health Watch.
All right, thanks, Lindsay. Women are significantly more likely than men to develop long COVID. A study published in JAMA Network Open showed women over 40 are as much as 6 to 10% more likely to develop the condition, though the reasons why aren't known. Symptoms of long COVID include brain fog, fatigue, and shortness of breath. Now, people whose parents divorced are at a greater risk for stroke later in life. A study of Toronto, a University of Toronto study of Americans 65 and older found strokes impacted 1 in 9 people who came from divorced homes, but only 1 in 15 people whose parents didn't divorce. The reasons why aren't unclear, but the authors speculate it could have to do with stress experienced as a child. The number of children and young people being hospitalized for mental health issues is rising. A study in England found between 2012 and 2022, there was a 65% rise in 5 to 18-year-olds being admitted to hospitals due to mental health issues, including anxiety and eating disorders. The biggest increase was among girls ages 11 to 15. Supporters of abortion rights gathered in Missouri's capital Wednesday to celebrate guaranteed abortion access. Voters passed a constitutional amendment for it last year, but it's still extremely difficult to get the procedure in the state. Monica Johnson reports why that is.
Abortion rights supporters shared their stories.
With sympathy for our loss, validation for our decision,
and congratulated voters on the passing of Amendment 3.
And last November, that's exactly what we did.
The executive director of Abortion Access Missouri says Amendment 3 is a huge win.
Missourians who are facing pregnancy complications or emergency can feel safe going to the emergency room, and doctors whose hands were tied by the abortion ban can no longer be criminalized.
But we know the work is just getting started.
The fight over abortions rights is far from over. Despite abortions being legal since December 5th, there are still restrictions and a courtroom battle. No clinic has received a license yet. Some state lawmakers are trying to keep it that way.
That suits me fine. That's a life saved, in my opinion.
But Representative Hayden also isn't surprised by the outcome.
And any constitutional amendment, unfortunately, is not clear, and there's wrangling over what does this particular part mean, licensing and other things. So
he says the amendment was written in a confusing way.
When you look at legislation, you can disagree with legislation. And there's some legislation that passes that I disagree with, but it's pretty well written. This kind of threw in everything in the kitchen sink that everybody wanted.
Despite that, these abortion rights supporters are prepared to keep pushing for more.
There's already been a measure introduced to try and reverse what we've done, but the people spoke, and we're here to
support that, enforce that, fight for that.
Now, the main issue is Missouri has a law that requires a special license to perform abortions. Not only does no facility have it, Planned Parenthood says it's not planning to try to get it. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, Pittsburgh police and firefighters battle for a good cause.
And after a bit of a chilly day, we do go into a warming trend as we head into the weekend.
Plus, we have some expert advice for protecting your skin in the winter cold.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:29, just coming up on 6:30. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Lindsay Gaffney.
It's Thursday here, just one more day till the weekend, till those warmer temperatures. We keep talking about it all week and I'm just like ready for it. I'm so ready for it.
This is our last cooler day, at least for a week.
Right.
Now we don't cool back down until next weekend, so we've got a nice long warm stretch. But today, unfortunately, yes, temperatures are really only getting to right about freezing. So we can go ahead and take a look outside. We're starting off in the mid-20s. So you can see about 24 degrees out in Joplin right now. Though with a light breeze out of the west-northwest, we are seeing a bit of a wind chill, about 16 degrees. So that's what it feels like, even though temperatures are in the mid-20s. And winds are gusting about 15, 20 to even possibly 25 miles per hour, especially in some of those northern areas. So we are still seeing a bit of a windier morning, windier afternoon today. Clouds passing. We go through a nice sunny stretch through late morning into early afternoon, but more clouds move in. As you can see, they're starting to push in. We're going to have mostly cloudy skies through the rest of the afternoon. Now, starting your morning off, we are going to start off, though, in the mid to lower 20s, and then we're only warming up to about 30 degrees by 11 a.m., and we have a nice warming trend as we head into the rest of the weekend. So today we're only getting into about 32, 33 degrees for our central counties. So northern counties a little bit cooler into the upper 20s, southern counties mid to upper 30s. So we've got a wide range from upper 20s to upper 30s today. And then we're heading into Friday, where we see a warm up. Temperatures in the mid 40s Friday, upper 40s on Saturday. A bit of a cooler day on Sunday because of a cold front that comes through this weekend, but we're right back to warming up on Monday, plus rain chances start to kick off next Wednesday. But I'm going to have a full forecast coming up.
All right, thanks, Lindsay. Well, some drivers in Vernon County, Missouri should look for a detour today. Part of Route D will be closed from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. Crews will shut down the road 1 mile west of Stottsbury to replace a damaged pipe. Drivers will still have access to driveways and home entrances, but there will be no travel through the work zone. Well, the heat is on at this year's Battle of the Badges as the Pittsburgh Police and Fire Departments face off in a chili cookout. Now, it's all a fun effort to benefit the American Red Cross. Folks were invited out yesterday and are again today to get a bowl, vote for their favorite, and donate some life-saving blood. It's a donation that one Pittsburgh police sergeant says can be crucial.
With the job I have, I've been around a lot of major scenes where blood donation benefits. You know, I think it's a unfortunate necessity that you know, people will come across situations where they might need blood donated to them, and it's an absolute wonderful thing that people are willing to donate it and allow it to be available to those in need. Yeah.
The event heats back up again today from 8:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Well, Joplin's East Middle School has earned Missouri's Purple Star distinction. The state's education department awards it to schools that support military families. East Middle started working toward this distinction earlier this year. Staff offer extra support for students and military families to help them succeed during their time at the school. And although you may not feel the sun's powerful rays during the winter months, that doesn't mean it's not affecting your skin. KOAM's Lonnie Walton spoke with a dermatologist from U.S. Dermatology in Joplin about how you can better protect your skin during winter.
We're actually working in and out of this, in this 5-degree weather that we've been having.
LaDonna Mitchell is the owner of Fourth State Greenhouse in Neosho. She, along with her workers, spend countless hours doing outside work no matter the season.
There's a lot of work of pulling weeds, cleaning things out, revamping things, moving irrigation, disabling irrigation.
Mitchell says her hands really know all about hard work.
Get really badly cracked and they'll like even start to bleed and whatnot. I mean, it's just like really horrible. So I use this rough and tumble. Again, this is from Alchemist Haven.
Dr. Derek Towery is a dermatologist at the U.S. Dermatology Partners in Joplin. He says for workers like Mitchell, skincare is vital during these colder months.
The wind's going to dry them out, the cold air, the very low humidity outside, so they need to use extra moisturizers, wear gloves.
Although it may be important to keep your body clean, taking a hot shower is a no-no.
Hot water really dries the skin out. Using harsh soaps, detergent soaps, fragrance type soaps will dry the skin out as well.
And don't forget about that sunscreen.
Ultraviolet light still coming through. It's not as intense as it is in June and July and August, but it's still out there.
I use a sunscreen. It's like a sunshine smoocher and it's got raspberry seed oil in it. It's natural and it's organic, and that's really important to me.
Mitchell says it's all for what she loves.
A lot of planning still goes on in the winter time, and that's just about educating folks and helping them to have really fruitful gardens for all their seasons.
Reporting in Joplin, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Dr. Towery recommends using sunscreen with an SPF of 30 or higher to protect against skin cancer. Well, it's been 2 years since the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline has been in operation. Kansas released a report outlining the successes of the lifeline in the state. 988 offers 24/7 access to trained crisis counselors who help people experiencing mental health related distress. The 988 Lifeline in Kansas experienced growth in call volume and infrastructure during year 2. Kansas call centers handled about 25,000 calls last year. Text and chat services saw a more than 45% increase from the previous year. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. The Las Vegas hotel workers strike comes to an end after a nearly 70-day strike. And we have a cold and partly cloudy day today. We'll have what to expect with Lindsay Gaffney in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. In Consumer Watch this morning, some people love to eat seaweed, but 2 women in Maine have found another use for it. They are kelp farmers who have turned the marine algae into skincare. Jessica Gagney has the story.
Collecting kelp at sea in the summer.
Look how pretty that is.
7 months ago, Krista Rosen and Inga Potter were hauling in their harvest from their kelp farm off the coast of Kittery Point. Fast forward to January, and they're hard at work bottling a secret blend of skin-loving ingredients featuring the seaweed.
It provides this really nutrient-rich, kind of undervalued resource.
These women are the co-founders of Cold Current Kelp, a farming and skincare company in Kittery. Inga, a marine biologist, says research on kelp's benefits has been widely written about internationally, but the industry is still in its infant stages in the U.S. Maine is at the forefront when it comes to kelp farming, and companies like theirs are working with the environment to build it into a sustainable, long-term business.
You actually plant it in the winter. It likes the cold, and you add nothing to it, right? No additives, no inputs, no fertilizers, or obviously water, anything like that. It just grows naturally in this environment, and it's accustomed to not only grow but thrive in this environment. So we harvest it in the spring.
After it's pulled from the water, their kelp is dried and stored, then synthesized into an extract used in Cold Current's flagship product, their Kelp Glow facial oil.
It may not be the most beautiful color, but it's real.
It's free of dyes, and the bioactives from the kelp help with hydration and disrupt the breakdown of collagens and elastins.
So this is the citrus, we have lavender, and we have fragrance-free.
Skincare made sense as a starting point on their kelp journey, but Krista and Inga say this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to what kelp can do.
So we are really digging deep into a kelp extraction process and a chemical analysis of that extract, and we should be getting those results any day, and that'll be really exciting because it can be used in other industries, biotech, pharma, nutritional foods.
For now, the focus remains on growing their kelp and growing their skincare market share. But just like the ocean, the future for kelp is vast and full of adventure.
The nearly 70-day strike by Las Vegas hotel workers has come to an end. The Culinary Workers and Bartenders Union announced on X that they have agreed to a new 5-year contract with Virgin Hotels Las Vegas. Hundreds of workers had walked off the job back in November due to disagreements over pay increases. And JetBlue flyers can now book their flights using Venmo. The budget airline is the first to accept the digital payment option, citing convenience and ease for customers. Venmo has already been added as a payment choice on JetBlue's website and will be rolling out on the company's mobile app in the coming weeks. And Post Malone wants you to run in circles for his new collaboration with Oreo. The limited edition Post Malone Oreo cookies feature salted caramel and shortbread flavored cream swirled between one chocolate and one golden cookie. The cookies have 9 designs that celebrate the recording artist's albums and hit songs, and the tasty collaboration hits store shelves next month, though you can pre-order starting next week through Oreo's website. And that's it for Consumer Watch. Here's Lindsay with another look at your forecast.
Well, temperatures today are only warming up to the low 30s. We also have some passing clouds, though. Following today, we are going into a ridge, a nice little warm up. So temperatures today, again, only reaching right around freezing. But Friday, mid 40s, and Saturday, upper 40s. Now we've got a cooler day on Sunday, but we go right back into warming by Monday. So we can see winds out of the west-northwest, gusting 15-20 miles per hour through this afternoon. They die down, but we do have a wind shift line coming in the early morning hours or late tonight. Winds out of the south, and then winds also start to pick up, gusting 20-25 miles per hour through morning on Friday, then picking up, gusting up to 40 miles per hour through Friday evening. So it's going to be a bit of a windier day on Friday with some light winds today, but temperatures do warm up again. Mid 40s for our high on Friday, upper 40s for our high on Saturday. We stay mostly dry even though we are seeing a few fronts. Next chance of rain isn't until next Wednesday. Well, it's almost time to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries. They're up after the break, but first, let's see what's happening on CBS Mornings.
I'm Nate Burleson. Coming up on CBS Mornings, Oscar-winning actor Michelle Yeoh joins us to talk about her new movie, Star Trek Section 31. Plus, Vlad sits down with singer-songwriter Robbie Williams to discuss his new biopic, Better Man. That's coming up on CBS Mornings.
It's time to celebrate some birthdays and anniversaries this Thursday morning here in the 4 states, starting with Silas Sumner's turning 2 today. It says here, love from your Aunt KK and Malachi.
And a big 5th birthday for Eli Zom in Baxter Springs, Kansas. Happy birthday.
And a happy 6th birthday to Ellis Guffey.
And taking a look, we've got a 20th birthday for Ksenia Ponomorova in Lamar, Missouri.
And in St. Paul, happy birthday to Matt David.
Next up, we've got Lisa Lizotte turning 56 in Joplin, Missouri. Happy birthday.
And in Pittsburgh, happy 78th birthday to Ron Downing. It says here, happy birthday from your family. If you'd like to celebrate your birthdays or your anniversary with us, you can do so by submitting them to birthdays@KOAMnewsnow.com. Be sure to include those wonderful photos and messages. We sure love those. And to also meet the deadline that you see there at the bottom of your screen. And with submitting, include the date of your celebration as well. That's very important. Let's head over to Lindsay for a full look at your forecast.
Well, taking a look downtown Pittsburgh, you can see we've got mostly clear skies, so a nice sunrise going on out there. Looking pretty good. Traffic starting to pick up as well as we start off our morning. Now, it's about 7 a.m., so temperatures are starting to cool down just a little bit before we start our warm up for the day. We're getting down to low 20s, about 22, 23 degrees to start off. Now, a few clouds continue to pass by today, but overall, we're going to remain mostly dry all the way through midweek next week, along with a warm up in the forecast. So today, pretty chilly. We're only getting up to just about freezing, so low 30s to mid 30s. And then tomorrow, about a 10-degree jump, mid 40s for the high and upper 40s for our high on Saturday. So we definitely see this nice little warming trend. Winds pick up out of the northwest, about 15 to possibly up to 20 miles per hour. Winds gusting through this afternoon. They die down pretty quickly because we do have a wind shift line coming in where winds are out of the south as we head into Friday. So overnight tonight, those southerly winds shift and winds also pick up through Friday as well. Starting off in the morning, we're going to see winds gusting 20, 25 miles per hour, but through the evening, winds strengthen up to 40 mile per hour wind gusts through Friday afternoon and evening. So going to be a bit of a windier day on Friday ahead of another front that's moving through. So you can see winds start to shift by Saturday afternoon. That wind shift line is continuing to move through behind the wind shift line, so winds are going to be out of the north through Saturday afternoon and evening. We're going to see another little pickup, winds gusting 25-30 miles per hour. So bit of a windier couple of days, but overall we stay mostly dry because we have this trough low pressure system shifting off to the east, and we go into this warming trend. So we've got this nice little ridge. We don't see any drastic ridges or troughs through the next week, but we do see as we head into the weekend this low pressure system off in the west cutting off from the upper level flow, and when that happens, it just sits there for a few days. It just kind of rotates. Nothing's driving it to continue to move eastward. So we stay in this pretty consistent little warming pattern through midweek next week. So let's take a look at these temperatures. Today, again, only getting into the lower 30s. About 30 degrees in Pittsburgh, Lamar, Nevada, Fort Scott, 29 in Iola, Yates Center, 28. Central counties about 33, 34 degrees, so right above freezing. 34 in Joplin, 35 in Miami, 34 in Independence. Southern counties getting into the mid to pushing upper 30s. Then we do have winds out of the north today, so as we head into Friday morning, temperatures start off in the teens, so it's going to be a little bit of a chillier start on Friday. You can see 14 degrees in those north and northeastern counties, all the way to 17 degrees in our central and southwestern counties. But our high for the day warms up because we have winds out of the south. So temperatures getting into the mid 40s tomorrow. 45 in Joplin, Pittsburgh, Fort Scott, 47 in Independence, 49 in Sedan and Newada. And then temperatures really only dropping down to right about freezing. So what our highs are today is what our lows are going to be on Saturday morning. 32 in Joplin, 30 in Pittsburgh, 28 in Chanute. Now our highs on Saturday, even though we do have that wind shift line, that cold front moving through, moves in a little bit later, so we do still get to warm up for the day. Upper 40s, 49 in Joplin, Miami, 49 in Welsh. So you can see 51 in Anderson. So we're getting a little bit warmer through Saturday, though we do have a couple more wind shift lines coming through. Those temperatures continue to stay warm until Wednesday, when we start to see our rain chances kind of kicking off. So a few light showers through Wednesday morning. Those pass pretty quickly. A couple more wind shift lines. And then as we head into Friday afternoon, we might see a bit of a wintry mix moving in as well. So we have these low chances of rain midweek to end of the week next week. So until then, we're going to see some cloudier days, cloudy and windy tomorrow, cloudy on Sunday. But until then, outside of that, I mean, temperatures are going to be warmer, sunny skies, so it's going to be pretty nice. Monday, 47, Tuesday, 55. So looking forward to this upcoming weekend and week while these temperatures are warmer, and then we start to drop back down following all of our rain chances that are moving in later in the week. So coming up when KOAM Morning News switches on over to Fox 14, the Como Conservatory has now been redesigned to help those with disabilities.
And here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Authorities cut the ribbon on the final of 6 storm shelters in McDonald County yesterday afternoon at Anderson Elementary. This multi-purpose shelter will not only serve Anderson Elementary, but also the surrounding community. The storm shelters were part of a $21.5 million bond issue passed by McDonald County voters in April 2022. And Nevada hosted a teacher recruitment event at the board office in hopes of filling several open positions. It was a chance for prospective teachers to learn about the district's vision and goals, programs and expectations, opportunities, benefits, and hear from teachers who've decided to call Nevada home. This is the second year Nevada schools have hosted a teacher recruitment event. And some drivers in Vernon County, Missouri should look for a detour today. Part of Route D will be closed from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. Crews will shut down the road 1 mile west of Stottsbury to replace a damaged pipe. Drivers will still have access to driveways and home entrances, but there will be no traveling through the work zone. And that's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And taking a look, we've got temperatures today warming up to the mid to lower 30s across the area, so we're still going to be right around freezing. Clouds move in late tonight and winds pick up a little bit, but tomorrow it's going to be cloudier and windier, though temperatures do start to warm up. Mid 40s tomorrow, upper 40s on Saturday, and we continue this warming trend all the way through next Wednesday before rain chances start to kick off.
Possible 60 degrees with rain temperatures should be pretty nice.
I know. I'm looking forward to just kind of the whole week where we're going to see those warmer temperatures and even 50s and sunny. Ooh,
not
I'm
bad
excited.
at all. Well, coming up today at noon, we're making candy bar pie in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, Rafi Andonian joins us in the studio to talk about the importance of Poverty Awareness Month.
Plus, we'll get an inside look on the clothing design for a second family. But that'll wrap it up for now. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
Yes, we will, and we'll see you today at noon.